Mind Marketer live sessions. Today, we are going to be talking about Google versus meta marketing. I've got a bunch of different things I'm going to run you through. So just welcome, whether you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. This is a new show format. I'm so busy. I have a young child, a young family, two businesses that trying to pre-record content just didn't happen for me anymore. I just got way too many irons in the fire, if you will. So these live session formats I find are much easier on my schedule, and it also allows me to engage with you. So drop me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you want to see in these future episodes. I'm going to be doing these every single day at 1 p.m. Eastern time. YouTube's going to be the main platform, but you can tune in from anywhere. And just make sure to check the comments because I'm going to leave a link so you can sign up to join the email list so you can get notified whenever these come live, and you can check out a lot of this past content as well. So again, today we are going to be talking about Google versus YouTube. I have been very vocal about Google marketing in the past year or so. If those of you who are not familiar with me, I've been in this space for 15 years. I have been running primarily SEO and search focused agencies, but over the last year especially, really seen the shift in the gradual chipping away at the value of Google, both SEO, paid search, LSA, anything within the Google platform for a lot of reasons. Rise in competition, rise in costs, lack of real estate available in Google. And a lot of us default to Google marketing because of the intent that Google can provide. I mean, what's better than somebody going to a platform and saying, hey, I am looking for shoes, I am looking for a lawyer, I am looking for an agency. But you know, there's ups and downs of that. And I've been advertising on Meta for the better part of 10 years now. And when I really stop and think about it, I don't do much SEO or Google marketing for my businesses. My primary focus is creating long form value adding content and then advertising on Meta to try and tap into that audience that I'm building with organic content. So what I'm selling or trying to sell stuff to other marketers, that's the best system, right? Providing long form content with a lot of value, tackling problems that I know you're having, and then running ads with very specific offers on Meta, because Meta allows us to kind of tap into that ecosystem, whereas Google really only allows us to tap into who's searching, and we lose control over the audience. Now, again, I've got some slides I want to present to you. I also just dumped this into ChatGPT to get ChatGPT's thoughts on it, so I'm going to kind of run you through that because it kind of speeds up the process for me a little bit here. It allows me to get through this material pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with y'all, and I'm going to jump in and just kind of start tackling some different things here. And again, drop me a comment, man. I'm able to see, no matter where you're commenting from, I'm able to see your comment here in my stream. What's up, Deepanshu from India? Love it. Big love to India. Always supported me in my career throughout the years. Love it. All right, so let's go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to share my entire screen. Bang. Okay. So yesterday I was actually on here and I was talking about specifically meta marketing, and I went through our process, our 8-step process that we use to deliver meta ads to clients. It's on our YouTube page. Make sure to check that out from yesterday. In that presentation, I went through just this meta diagram here, attacking how it's able to attack multiple parts of the traditional marketing funnel, top, mid, and then, you know, traditional bottom funnel stuff as well. Now, why we usually love Google. So this is AdWords, LSA, but also traditional organic SEO would fit in here as well, is because it attacks that high intent traffic, that traffic of people going directly to a platform and putting themselves in market by where they're searching. And I think what's happened over the years in the search marketing industry is that we've become less of marketers and we've become more of, it's almost sales if you think about it, right? Like people that are putting themselves in market. We're not going out and building any sort of interest or engagement, which is really, to me, what marketing is all about. Marketing is about going out and trying to capture people that are put people into an ecosystem that we can then deploy sales against to go and bring them in and have conversations with. And somewhere along the line, search made it so easy to just tap into people that are in market that we kind of lost a lot of those skill sets. And I say we because it's not really me, it's a lot of y'all. And I love picking on the SEO community because that's where my roots are. And you guys are so resistant to this type of information. Anytime I post something, anytime anybody posts something that's like SEO is dying, it's like, oh my God, I've seen this a million times before, blah, blah, blah. But like, man, the truth is, it is, you know, like ask yourself, what you need or have been using it for what you need. I know I've been using ChatGPT for all of my informational queries over the last couple of months, and more and more and more and more too. ChatGPT is just so good at that informational query type stuff. And on top of that, if you go to Google and type in anything informational, you're getting that AI overview box anyway. So as a marketer, we've lost any ability to get top funnel traffic from Google. It's gone. It's gone and it's not coming back. It's eroded and it's not coming back. We can still get that bottom funnel traffic, that bottom mid funnel traffic, high intent traffic, but you also have to be prepared to advertise to collect it, because you Google, lawyer near me or dentist near me, you're going to see 2 LSAs, you're going to see 4 ads, you're going to see then the organic listings down there. So you got 2 scrolls just to get down to that. Google wants to monetize everything that they have here. It's going to be hard to tap into that if you're not prepared to advertise. So that's why I'm talking holistic Google marketing. I'm not talking SEO or PPC. I'm talking everything Google, because this is more of a platform to platform comparison. So, this here to me is where the money is really made, because if you want to capture people that are already in market, 1, you're going to pay for it. 2, it's really competitive. And 3, all this traffic down here is price comparison. I look at agencies as an example, right? Like, most of you watching this are probably some sort of marketing service provider, agency, consultant. Do you do SEO for yourself? Is that how you get clients? Do you do pay-per-click for yourself? Is that how you get clients? And I would wager to say no, because the majority of traffic coming from SEO is people that, again, have already come down to this funnel and said, I'm looking for blank, and they've already predetermined what they're looking for. And when they get here and they're searching for it, they're going to be talking to 10 different agencies. They don't care about brand. They don't care about anything else. They mainly care about price. And you never want to be in a position as a business where you're competing against top funnel before they put themselves in market, before that they've decided that they want to hire an agency, before they've determined that they're in market for whatever it is that you do or your clients do. You're able to bring them in and sole source them. When I have conversations with leads and prospects, they're like, dude, I saw 5 of your videos, I saw 1 of your ads. Talk to me. Like, what can you do for me? And that's the conversation that I want to have as a business owner and as an agency owner, which is much more sole source, because of the value that they know that we can provide, because we provided that through content advertising over time. Now, again, that's not to say that Google's bad, because we do a tremendous amount of Google marketing for our clients. Granted, they're all law firms, and for law firms, Google marketing is still a good fit, because law firms traditionally don't have the expertise in-house to do all sorts of content marketing and generation. They don't have the time, they don't have the bandwidth, they're not going to do it. They need something that's a little bit more turnkey, that they can provide to an outside party, that they can just handle it all for them. So Google works really well for them. Plus, people still go to Google and type in, I got a DUI, they call a lawyer and they hire them. You have to make sure that that's consistent and congruent for whatever it is that you want to align to. And this is the key part of really deciphering any marketing channel, right? You have to ask yourself realistically, like, do people convert? Can I actually make money off of this channel directly, right? Another thing that Google, where I kind of pick on Google a little bit, is that, again, we see this with our law firm clients. We track everything down to a T. We track phone calls, we track form submissions, and we track the source of it. And we also make sure that their sales, it's not how did you last find us, but how did you hear about us? Was it a billboard? Was it a TV ad? Was it through search engines? And we're really sticky about that to make sure we're collecting the data and information, because what we hear a lot is our law firm clients that have a lot of billboards say, oh, I saw your billboards, and then I call. But, right, so that's what the manual tracking is saying. But if you go and you check the analytics, Google's getting the credit for that. Why? Because they don't remember the name. They don't necessarily remember the phone number. They probably remember the name. They remember some aspect of that advertisement. They search for it, and then they finish it through Google. And that happens a lot in e-commerce as well. You see something on TikTok, you see something on Instagram, then you go to Google to finish the search, that branded search. So a lot of the times Google or SEO is getting credit for conversions that they didn't really generate. And it's something that SEOs refuse to face and understand. And again, this is not to pick on Google marketing, because again, we do a lot of it and I see the value in Google marketing, but you have to understand that marketing is an ecosystem, right? And that different channels play a different role in the conversion process. And whoever you're working with, whether it's your own business or a client, you have to intimately understand what that conversion process looks like for them. So I just had some fun here. I came over here to ChatGPT and just said, give me a comparison of SEO, pay-per-click, LSA, aka local service ads, and then meta ads. And I just want to run through this with you real quick to kind of try and drive home some of these points. Um, and not all this I necessarily fully agree with, but a lot of this I think is pretty good for what we need to get through on this live session here. So when we look at the cost, right? This is going to be subjective based on the industry or vertical. That's all four of these, right? So if we're looking at a law firm, the SEO investment is going to be high because it's brutally competitive, right? And it's a lot of effort that goes into whether it's content creation or link building to do the SEO. So most law firm retainers are going to be, between $4,000 and $15,000, depending on the practice area, right? Now, if we look at something that it just again depends on the industry and vertical, like a gym or like a local coffee shop, of course that investment's going to be a lot lower, but the return is also going to be lower because how many people are actually going to Google to find coffee shops in masses, right? Now PPC, same thing. This is a purely supply and demand marketplace. It's pay per click, so you're paying for the click. This is just going to be dependent on how many other advertisers, and this is going to also kind of reflect the state of SEO. The higher the retainer for SEO, the more you can also expect to pay per click. But you can actually find that out by vice versa, by going into Google and finding Google Ads, any kind of search marketing tool, to find out what the cost per click is for target keywords. Even if it's really high comparatively, then you can probably assume that SEO would be high too. LSAs are interesting because this is pay per lead. And this only happens and works for local businesses, local service businesses to be specific. So like roofers, plumbers, electricians, lawyers, dentists, doctors, you name it. You set these up, and every time somebody calls through your ad, you pay. Now, Meta is interesting because Meta is based on CPM, which stands for cost per thousand impressions. So it's also a supply and demand marketplace. The more advertisers that are competing against the same audiences as you, the higher that your cost is going to be. Now, it's usually 9.9 times out of 10 Meta comes in cheaper than search marketing. It's kind of one of the benefits of this, and that's because people usually go to Google one time for what they're looking for. Generally speaking, I need a lawyer, I'm looking for a dentist. You don't necessarily refine that search, especially if it's local, 20 times over, because you're getting the same results, right? Now with Meta, right? Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. People check Meta and Instagram 30 times a day, and they spend hours and hours and hours on that platform. So that means they're getting served multiple ads for every session that they're on there, which means the cost is going to be lower, right? So another reason why I love Meta. Now, time to results is a little bit different. SEO is going to take the longest. Paid search and LSAs is going to be the fastest. Meta is going to be the second fastest. Now, in terms of timelines, SEO 6 months to 12 months, depending on the vertical. PPC, I would say 30 to 90 days. For LSAs is probably the fastest, probably within 30 days. And then Meta ads is probably going to be like 60 to 90 to 120 days. That all depends on how good you are creating the creative strategy, which we'll talk about. Longevity here, because with search, you get tapped out at keywords that are actually going to drive value. Now, you could make the argument with SEO, it's kind of like the hockey stick thing where, over time, your organic traffic is going to keep on going up, but the keywords that you're ranking for have diminishing returns because it's probably going to be more high intent, less stickier, or like higher intent, higher HIRE keywords, so bottom funnel keywords. Because those, once you rank for all those, if you can rank for all those, same thing with ads, you're going to get diminishing returns on the keywords that you want to optimize for. Now, Meta, because of how many people are on the platform, it scales. Like, you have to be spending millions and millions and millions on Meta in order to hit the end. So I give the win to Meta here. Targeting. Now, again, this people usually default to Google, and this is kind of what I was talking about, how marketers, how SEOs have lost their grip on marketing. And that's because Google's kind of spoiled us, because we can go in and we can see it's very easy to do keyword research. Shit, ChatGPT can do keyword research for me in 30 seconds to find every keyword that I want for any sort of search marketing campaign. And that's spoiled us because we think that if they're not searching for it, then they're not in market or they're not interested. And that's just not the case, right? Like, with Meta, it's all about the creative. It's less about the targeting. So the creative does the targeting for you, because in most instances, you're not going to be able to go onto the Meta platform and say, hey, a dentist. I want to target people that are looking for accounting software. So we have to use the creative to dictate the targeting, because the way that meta targeting works, in a very rudimentary, simply to explain it, is that the more people, that Facebook's going to put your ads out based on what you give it to a large group of people. The people that have any sort of engagement or interaction with that ad, Facebook's going to zero in on those and then expand those out. So the better your creative and the more creative you can provide it, the more sub audience it's zooming into. And if you're using the right success metrics in terms of conversions, your meta targeting is going to get better and better and better over time, to the point where you might not have to put any targeting in. You just run ads and meta will know exactly who you want to target. So it scales, again, much better as well. I already talked about intent. Google has better intent. High intent, people are going and saying, this is what I want, give it to me. And with meta, we have to get people to stop scrolling. So in terms of placements, right, all these happen within search. Facebook has stories, reels, feeds, a little bit more in terms of inventory available to you, but we usually just let meta decide who the best audience is to serve for that. And again, we run mostly video content, so that opens it up for us to be available inside of all of the placements within the meta platform. So in terms of trust factor, that's kind of moot, whatever. I mean, I guess you could make the argument that organic is going to be the highest, but data show with how much Google especially hides that ad tag. Budget control. Again, SEO is good because it's locked in at a certain retainer price. You're paying somebody or an agency to do the SEO for you. That amount should stay the same over time, whereas ads, the cost is going to keep going up. That's probably the biggest downside of ads, is that the cost is going to keep going up. Now, I think this is very interesting in terms of lead or customer quality. It says that Google is the highest and that Meta is medium. I actually disagree with this. And again, I think this depends on who you want to target and who you're talking to about this. But to me, we sign 90% of our clients at our agency through Meta ads. We signed almost none through Google. In fact, the leads that do come through Google, like I said, are tire kickers, because they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting proposals from 5 different agencies. Can you send me one? I'm like, no, I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am. I'm not going to waste my time doing that. Now, of course, that always depends on the business that you're doing it for, what have you. But, I personally think that Meta has the best quality. That's just my opinion. And it's not an opinion, it's actually based on data. I'll just skip down here in terms of ease of setup. So, this is debatable depending on who you're talking to. If you talk to an SEO, they're going to be like, oh my God, SEO is the most complicated thing in the whole world. I'm like a brain surgeon. Like, it's really not that complicated in my opinion. It's a 4-step process. Optimize a website, build the right content, build links, and then if it's a local business, optimize the local presence as well. It's not complicated at all. PPC can be a little bit trickier, even though, again, there's AI optimization inside of that. PPC to me is harder than SEO. Again, that's just my opinion. You can ask a million different people; they're going to tell you differently. LSAs are super easy. I could train my 10-month-old son how to set up LSAs. super easy. But that's also what Google wants. They wanted to have an ad platform that was much more democratic in terms of who would be able to run the ads there. They didn't want the complexity of PPC, because LSA is supposed to be for small businesses to just dip their toe into the water. Now, Meta, I would say, has the most moving pieces, because there's the creative element of it, there's the tracking and analytics element of it, and then there's also like the ad management and setup. I don't think Meta's hard to set up ads. It's to me, it's much simpler than Google. It's campaign, ad set, and then ad. You just create a bunch of ads, you upload it, you set your targeting, and then you just adjust it. But the creative element here is what stops most people from either getting into it or having success with it. Like, creative is the variable on Meta. It's the most important thing. It's going to dictate your success or your non-success. And maybe I'm biased because I create video content all the time. Remember, every single day I'm doing these live sessions from here on out, 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm comfortable with it. I live in this world, if you will. But that's just my opinion. So anybody watching have any questions on Meta versus Google? I would love to hear from the SEOs out there as well. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about your experience. Talk to me about what you think. I've got some more stuff I'm going to run you through here too, but I want to engage with you. AR asked, what do you think of AI in creatives for Meta? I think that's a loaded question, but I'll tell you what I think. So when it comes to AI for creative creation, right? There's levels to it. One, you could use AI to write the copy. I have some prompts that I use for ChatGPT and also Claude that write all of our ads. It's amazing. It's only getting better. So for content, for creative, for copywriting, I think that AI is should be your main focus, especially if you're just getting started here. Now, granted, there's really good copy and there's good copy. Really good copy always performs better, but if you know what you're doing, you can train these models very, very easily for how to write the right type of copy for these ads. Now, when we talk about image and video creative with AI, that's a little bit different. So with images, I can be good to provide additional assets and resources because you need a lot of creative to have success on Meta. You can't just go in there with one or two ads and think that you're going to win. You need, we like to do 5 new ads a week in terms of creative. So 20 per month, right? Anywhere from 15 to 20 new pieces of creative per month. Now you can break that down with image and video to make that easier for you. So you can do 5 new videos a month, 10 new videos a month, whatever you're comfortable with, and then use image for the rest. Also, image tends to work better for like true bottom funnel, direct response, lead generation or sales for off of Meta, right? What I mean by that is that video works really well if you're building a funnel within Facebook, which you should be doing, which is running video to gain interest, to qualify the audience, and then remarketing off of that video with a direct offer to purchase or convert. Image works better because videos can kind of defer or distract people from the main thing. They end up watching the video, they don't see the call to action, and then they just move on. They don't end up converting. So we run like 80% video just because I'm comfortable on video. It's the most scalable and easy way for us to create video, to create assets for Facebook, but images also work really well. Now, in terms of using AI, you just have to know the prompting and what you're doing to get AI to generate it. So I'm fine with using AI to create images, but like a lot of AI images look like AI. And as soon as ChatGPT released the ability to create images, and that's kind of what I see the downside with AI is that marketers ruin everything. And I'm all about using AI. Like I said, we use AI to write all of our content, but what I'm also seeing is that the written word is not nearly as impactful. One, because the younger generation doesn't read shit, and two, because it's commoditized. Anybody can go into these platforms and use it to create content, so it loses its value in a sense. Now, AI for video, I've tested. There's a video on my YouTube channel, you can check it out, where I loaded up like 2 hours worth of 4K video of me sitting into a very, very nice setting. So with AI video, to use yourself, you have to feed it really, really, really good 4K video. And then you can so I use a platform called HeyGen. I fed it the video, it creates your own AI avatar, and then you can just give it a script, and it looks pretty real. I guess I didn't think it looked too real because it's me. And with AI video, you can always tell by the lips a little bit and kind of like the hands. But I think if you were to stitch that together with a good editor who could lay B-roll and text on top of it, which we did, then yeah, you can use it. But again, the issue with that is that with AI video, with any video, if you're just sitting in the same setting, in the same outfit over and over again, people get media blind. Build this model, I have to continuously feed it new video in order for me to train the model. And if I'm having to feed a new video, I'm already filming the video. Why don't I just film the video, and then everyone knows it's real, and I can be much more agile with the video. So in my opinion, I don't think AI video is quite there yet. I know I got into like a kind of a beef with somebody about this on Twitter because I talked about how we tested this, and the AI video did not convert nearly as well as the normal video. And that could be because Facebook knows it's AI video, or it could just be because the audience knows it's AI video and it doesn't quite have the exact tone and inflection and also the look and feel of real video. And to me also, I know that the best video out there is vertical cell phone video for any sort of advertising. It's native, it's organic, it's what people see on their feeds normally, and it's what they're much more comfortable with. So, I think AI is something that you just have to test with your own system and process. I think it's a very good way to speed things up and to get more done quickly, but everything needs to be reviewed by a human afterwards because It's just not quite there yet. And I think we've been saying that for a couple years now since ChatGPT rolled out. Like, it's not there yet. It's not there yet. And behind the scenes, it's been getting much more there. It's been getting much better, much better, much better. To the point, like I said, where we have a massive prompt that we use for our law firm clients that we just feed it to Claude, and Claude writes really good copy and really good video scripts for us. So, but like, it's still the human factor needed to create the video. One, Facebook really needs it to know who to target and who to, like, the targeting is just getting stripped away every day on Facebook. So the creative asset that you feed it is going to be the most important targeting asset that you have. And two, because it stands out, right? Like, it allows you to consistently stay ahead of the curve. Like, I look at something like Hormozy as an example, right? Like, when I tell you like Hormozy style video, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because all these bro marketers are all over your feed with like the same aggressive pop-up captions, the same look, the same feel, and that gets tired over time very quickly. And when people see that, what do they know? They know you're selling them something every time. I know if I see that bro style caption shit on my feed, I'm like, all right, buddy, what are you selling me? Huh? What type of bullshit program you got for me here? Crypto? What do you got? Come on. So that's why you need a human brain to continuously stay ahead of the curve, step by step by step, to stay ahead of the AI, to stay ahead of all the monotony, the commoditization, I call it, of content. So that's why video is so important for these ads, and is really, I call it the variable for success. Most of you have probably tried Facebook ads before and not had success because you didn't put the effort in. Not the effort, I shouldn't say that. I don't want to be disrespectful, but you didn't necessarily know how to make the creative work. So any more questions out there, guys, I'm happy to take them for you. And just another reminder, I'm doing these live streams every single day now, 1 p.m. Eastern time every single day. You can catch us mainly on YouTube, but we're streaming on other platforms as well. So I'm at the 30-minute mark. Just go ahead and wrap this today. I'll be back tomorrow again, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure to check the link below to sign up to jump onto our email list. So if you miss any of these sessions, I'm just going to be sending them out every single day for you to check them out. I always appreciate your time, your attention. Yeah, have a great day.